Good evening, and welcome once again to Straight from the Sky. I'm your talk show host, Bobit Avila, and we are going to do a historic interview with my good friend, Bobby Joseph, in Manila. And I am here in my TV studios doing a Zoom interview for the first time in my 20 years being in Straight from the Sky. So it's going to be a very good show and an opening of a chance for me to interview people from faraway places who have a Zoom account. So we'll be back with you after this break. Please don't go away.
Sumuko ka na! Hindi ako suko! Sumuko na! Hindi ako suko! Sumuko ka na!
Tagal. Parang internet mo. Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ay, sumuko!
Switch to Sky Fiber. Ay, may lag. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days. Switch to Sky Fiber.
3 major financial needs to complete financial picture. 1. Investment. To generate continuing income for when you retire. Letting money work for you. 2. Income protection. Life insurance. To protect your family if you die too soon. Life insurance protection help finance your children's education. Pay estate tax. Pay debts instantly. Number 3. Healthcare. To provide you healthcare when you retire or when you stop working. Someone to take care of you when you get old. What if I could tell you about a product that provides complete solution to your 3 major financial needs? Kaiser Premium Health Builder provides total solution to your healthcare, investment, and insurance needs.
Thank you for staying with us. Bobby, good evening. And how is Manila?
Well, we are still in a situation. Still, to be very careful, especially now that I am 70 years old.
I'm here to enjoy my family and children at home.
So you're in your house in Alabang,
Yeah.
and you just 30 minutes ago you just concluded as a recently inaugurated president of the Manila Rotary Club. I saw your Zoom meeting with Senator Panfilo Lacson as your
Yes.
guest.
It was a very, very interesting and very articulate and explained a lot of things that a lot of people have not read the are saying so many things.
Well, like I said, you have been always on my show, what, maybe 3 times a year. And this is the longest time since I saw you, because when I think the last time you were in Cebu was January. After that, na lockdown na tayo.
Lockdown na. I think February 1st.
Yeah, first week of February. Yeah. So now that what you call we are in lockdown, kami sa Cebu by supposed to be end of June, we were given middle of June, we were given a general community quarantine. But unfortunately, by end of June, binalik kami sa enhanced community quarantine, which is more stricter. But the difference is that your good friend, Senator Roy Simatong, remember him, Save Manila Bay, came to Cebu with Dr. Roque and the team of IATF. They came here to implement rules because apparently many people believe that Cebu was not really held tight by our government officials. But the truth is, the Cebuanos are hard-headed, according to President Rodrigo Duterte. And a lot of people in social media resented what the president said, because they said, "I'm not hard-headed." But at the end of the day, when Simato was already here in Cebu last Sunday, there was would you believe, a procession in Barangay San Nicolas in Alumnos. And that procession even had sinulog dancers. And the dancers were wearing masks, but there was no social distancing. And the people joining the procession were wearing masks, but still not social distancing. So you can just imagine Cebu is really showing its true colors. And there was even what you call, they call that tigbakay, which is actually a cockfight that was also stopped. So that's the reason why we are called, and I wrote a column in the Star and Freeman, that we have become the world's longest lockdown in the world. And that became viral.
Sad because the entire industry is really looking forward for Cebu because that is the hub of the Visayas for tourism, and we have a good airport. And now everybody in tourism was really hoping for that Cebu recovers fast so that we can turn that into one of the first tourist destinations.
That's really true, Bob. In fact, last, I think, February, I had tourism director Shalimar Tamano as my guest to explain about what happened in the year 2019. And yes, we had a record, like 7 million passengers. And so we expected in the year 2020, we would have a longer or bigger tourism economy. Unfortunately, we did not expect COVID-19 to appear. And that, because of that, what happened was the tourism has sort of lulled because a lot of the resorts closed And a lot of many hospitals have become what you call a parang center for possible infections of people who are arriving from outside. So that is our situation right now.
So it was the Ws who were coming in, and they were infected. Is that that caused a lot of problems?
That's true, Bob, because actually, like Ormoc, for instance, had no COVID problems. Then they remember the OFWs because a lot of the OFWs, whether it's from Kuwait or Saudi Arabia and even Hong Kong, have stopped. Their companies have stopped, so their bosses have no work, so they cannot pay their let's say the riayas and people to take care of their kids. So they have to go home. So that's a huge penalty for us. And in fact, I heard that in Saudi Arabia there were 200 Filipinos who died, and the people of Saudi wanted the Philippine government to bring home the bodies here. Unfortunately, we don't have the supposed to be the money, or I would say the transportation to bring 200 dead bodies back to the Philippines. So they were buried in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. They don't allow cremation there, I think. So
Yeah. So
oh,
they were buried in Saudi. So it's a real problem that we have. But again, like I said, I'm sure the the huge pharmas are already what you call finding ways to find a what you call vaccine for the COVID-19. But so far, what we have seen is Japan and Brazil even came up with something, and China is also so because it's a $1 billion industry with when you find a cure for COVID, who will be the person or the company who will manufacture that will become an instant billionaire.
number one richest company in the world.
That's true. And Bob, I'm just surprised that in Manila, how about the hotels in Manila? How are things there?
There are some hotels who are closed, especially the five-star hotels, because they refuse to accept OFWs who might be contaminated. So
Mm,
they're trying to avoid that their hotel was catering to people who had COVID. That's one. The other hotels, three-star hotels, they were accepting it. They were getting 3,000 to 3,005 up to 4,000 a day.
mm.
Plus, they would have to, the OFW has to pay the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they cannot go back to the province.
No.
So can you imagine an OFW staying in a 3-4-star hotel for 14 days and spending so much? And also, it's not sure that they can still make it because there are no flights. And if they have to take the Roro or what, it's more complicated. So the poor OFWs, whatever they've earned, by the time they reach the province, baka may utang pa sila. Napakasakit. It's so painful.
That's true. And they're called supposed to be our new heroes.
Yeah.
And look at the way how we treat our new heroes. So you can just imagine if they have been what you call sanitized or supposed to be sent on a cleansing process for 14 days, then supposed to be they can leave Manila, go to, let's say, for the sake of discussion, go to Cagayan de Oro. When they get to Cagayan de Oro, they will again undergo a 14-day quarantine. So, parang kawawa talaga. That's more than a month. And you're
It's
right.
ridiculous.
You're right that they are really spending so much money that they have earned. Sayang talaga. And unfortunately, we run out of time. We'll be back with Bobby Joseph after this break. Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days. Switch to Sky Fiber. Bagal kasi. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ako single.
Switch to Sky Fiber.
Thank you for staying with us. Bob, what's happening to your Rotary Club? I saw a Rotary meeting with you and Cebu Rotary. It was the first time that the Rotary clubs of Cebu and Manila held a Zoom meeting.
Yes, and now it's not only that. It also goes beyond. It goes to the United States, to Asia. So now the Zoom is already international. So it would be best that so many people, example, in the province or in the United States, they can touch now on your show. So it's very, very interesting. It's very easy to invite the president or even a singer. Since all of this lockdown, we can talk to them.
That's
So
really true.
Rotarians, and we're looking, despite this, we're coming up with programs that will sustain our support for the sick children, for the people who need help in PGH, for the cancer-stricken children too. So, and then for the COVID, we have different hospitals, and we raise funds to give them all the uniform, masks, so on and so forth. So life has been very busy for us. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 Zoom meetings every day.
Wow,
Oh my God.
that's a record in a way.
Yeah.
So at least it doesn't keep you from being bored in the house.
Oh yes. By the time I'm doing it, I'm too tired and I want to take a shower and go to sleep.
What about you're no longer the Commodore in Manila Bay?
I'm still the Commodore. We'll be having a meeting next week. I was supposed to turn over, but because of this situation, no, we couldn't meet. So
Mm.
I will see. But right now, they're not again the sewage treatment plant by Secretary Simatu, but they have not yet connected. And now they're even putting. There was a delivery of a huge generator. So just in case something happens, they have a generator, and they will be putting uh, the system that can save on electricity. So perhaps it will take another 60 days to finish.
Well, it's been more than a year since we took into the Save Manila Bay, and there's a lot of things. Can you make a sort of short report to that?
Yeah, there are areas that are very clean in the pier where there is a lot of squatters. So this area, there are there are people from DNR who are already working in that area to see to it that waste management is being done. Also, when I went also, because the STP is not yet working, and because of the rains, it has brought in a lot of some garbage from
Other places?
businesses that came in. So we will wait for the rainy season to stop. And then by that time, the sewage treatment plant is done. They have cordoned some areas so that the garbage does not come inside the Manila Bay.
Yeah, very
And then,
good.
and then they will postpone. It has been postponed that come next year, they will put sand on the Manila Bay to make the other people that come and swim.
Really, that's
Yeah,
going to be something dramatic.
yeah.
Imagine in the old days, you only had stones and rocks, and you will now put a white sand in that Manila Bay. That's really beautiful.
And I talked to Secretary Roy Simato. He says, but you know, Bobby, pagdating ng bagyo, tanggal lahat yung sand na yan.
That's true.
Every year, we'll put sand. Okay.
That's a huge problem that you have to really reconsider, no? But then, on the other hand, the fact that people now realize that Manila Bay needs to be cleaned, I think a lot of the people in Manila have realized that by cleaning Manila Bay, they also need to clean themselves. And in doing so, most of the supposed to be like Pasig River has been relatively clean than the other rivers. Is that true?
Yes, yes. Some of the rivers are already started to become cleaner. Not so clean, but like example, the Pampanga River
Yeah,
that is being rehabilitated now. It's part of the Manila Bay project, and they're also being careful in Zambales because of the beaches. So they are trying to do something, but the momentum stopped because of this pandemic.
yeah, true.
People couldn't work, so it will take time again to bring them back and to get the budget.
That's really true. That's a huge problem. Even during the time when we were into what you call general community quarantine, a few hotels tried to restart. The problem is, even if they hired less than half the complement that they used to operate their hotels, the problem is they could not get people to fly in. So that became a problem. Secondly, there is no what you call ferry service from other places because many of the shipping companies have stopped also. So they have to look for a crew to man their boats. So these are problems emanating from the COVID. And then when people started to really come back, the problem was now Cebu had to be brought back pag July 1 to a what you call enhanced community quarantine. So many restaurants that even opened had to shut down again. So it's really what you call a problem in Cebu that we are in ECQ. And the only difference is that this time President Duterte sent Secretary Simato with his team to really handle this because, like I said, a lot of Cebuanos will not accept a president telling a fellow Cebuano, because he's also a Cebuano, that kami gahing ulo. But then, it's a reality that we have to accept because the problem is not only do we have hard-headed, our problem is we have too much pride also. So we are in this situation right now. So let's just hope by July 15, we will be brought back to general community quarantine.
I hope so because we have to promote business. It's already getting too difficult. Even in Manila, the restaurants are not doing well. A lot of restaurants are closed. Bars are closed. So it's really tough.
That's really true. The new normal that will happen will be a different normal. For instance, right now we are already July, but school has not yet opened. And you know, the opening of schools meant before that a lot of these people from, let's say, from Mindanao would travel to Cebu to send their children to study in Cebu. And a lot of people in Cebu want to study in Manila, in LaSalle, or in Ateneo, could not go. So that became a problem for all parents. So now they say digital teaching, but not everybody's got a video or a Zoom. So it's really become a national problem.
Huge. Because to them, those who have access to the internet, around 24%. So how could that be? How could we leave so many students behind?
That's true. So it has become a sort of a national pandemic also. And we'll be back with Bobby Joseph after this break. This is on cover. We'll be back shortly.
First song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
Thank you for staying with us. We're now back halfway through the show with my good friend Bobby Joseph, Consul of Latvia and the new president of the Manila Rotary Club. And yes, we are. He is in his house in Alabang. I'm here in my TV, and yes, we at least succeeded in what you call doing an interview with him, who's always been on my show for 3 times a year. So, Bob, I hope you have not been coming to Cebu. Is something we missed you.
Yes, I really miss this. I miss all my friends, especially the food.
Our dinners.
Yeah, the traffic is nothing. I like Cebu. Relax, things like that.
Well, if you recall, every Tuesday morning we have the 888 News Forum in Marco Polo Plaza. That has also disappeared.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know how's Marco Polo doing right now.
Well, I'm sure they're probably half open or something. But like I said, I don't know if we will be able to bring back the 888 forum or we will do it by Zoom. We don't know yet. So maybe we'll just study in the meantime. So how about your company, Bob? Tell us what's going on.
Well, it's kind of tough because we're in the wine distribution business. So a lot of restaurants and hotels are closed and bars. So that's a big bulk of our business.
Yeah,
and
true.
Not really coming to drink as much, so, and if they drink, it's only very little and it's only good for health. Part of the dinner, a nice wine, things like that. But no celebrations, no events, no weddings, no debutantes. So it's really affected the hotel, the resorts, even the churches.
That's true.
Go to church. Nobody contributes.
Yeah, true. So it's a huge, issue. And now I remember your last trip here was during the wedding of my son, March 1. That's the last time I saw you.
Oh, by the how's the situation of your son, the pilot of Philippine Airlines?
Well, right now he is on what you call vacation, but he's still under contract. So hopefully by next week he will begin flying again. He actually flew about a month ago, flew a what you call Mercy flight from Manila to LA, from LA to Barbados in the Mediterranean to get, there are about 3,000, 4,000, what you call members of the cruise ships who were placed in Barbados. And then so PAL had to fly them from Barbados to Vancouver, then from Vancouver to Clark.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's an experience.
yeah. There are many places that PAL has already flown now because of this COVID.
So there's still what, 700,000 plus of ships, crews, seamen, sea merchants who are merchant marines who are still all over the country, all over
That's,
the world.
yeah, in fact, I've always been in what you call YouTube. About 2 months ago, Manila Bay was filled with about 20 cruise ships in Manila Bay.
Yes,
Because the cruise ships had to go to Manila Bay and unload their crew to the Philippines, who are actually from the Philippines.
the same thing in Subic. That's why right now they have now testings, ongoing testings. So for the ship crew to come down, they have to be tested immediately. The Red Cross is there with a huge machine to test these people, to test the passenger.
That's really true. So now, what happens is there's an issue that I would like to ask you, where because it pertains tourism. There is a plan by I think the son of the president to remove the Ninoy Aquino International Airport name, and he wants to name it a Tagalog name, Paliparan ng Daigdig ng Pilipinas.
Oh my goodness.
So are you against it?
Yeah, because if it was an international airport, it could be still palatable. The Manila International Airport. But again, at this moment, I think we should not be, we should think of lesser politics because this does not bring any help to unite our country while all of us are suffering.
That's really true. I think it's the wrong time.
Yes.
Secondly, I also wrote a column on this. I finally made my decision that leave Ninoy Aquino alone because the Bulacan Airport of Ramon Ang has already started construction. You can call that the Manila International Airport and leave Ninoy. Whatever will happen to Ninoy will happen to Ninoy. But it will not. It will not be. It will be the right time by the time they call the Bulacan Airport when that is finished. I'm sure wala na COVID.
Yeah, yeah. That's what, I just had a Zoom meeting with our network of independent travel agents.
Naitas.
Yeah, and I was encouraging them. Okay, future planning we can do, but now how to make money? So I said, as a networking organization nationwide, we have to identify our strengths and see and the services that we do. If you have rice, if you have anything to sell, we put it all together and we work and we generate income. I said this is the best thing we can do at the moment. Everybody has to generate income.
That's really true, Bob. But like I said, Cebu has been the forefront of a very beautiful economic boom last year. But the problem now is how to restart the tourism economy, because this economy means that you have to restart the airline, you have to restart the sea travel, and you have to restart the land transportation travel. And then when you do that, you must also restart the hotels and resorts. The problem is whether the hotels and resorts are willing to bring down their rates, because the rates of 2019, which was a very high rate, and the hotels were full, are different in this new COVID era. So what do you think about this?
I think it's they can do so, but some of them consider that keeping it closed and getting a few people to maintain the hotel would be much better because there is no airline coming yet to Cebu. And second, we're encouraging people that if you cannot sell anything, at least go online. It's the easiest thing to do and sell online to other areas of the world and promote it. Example, how about selling Cebu 2 years from now and you have a package? So you're telling the world, hey, we have 2 years package, but if things turn well, then we can bring it down, make it earlier. So we keep the enthusiasm of foreigners to make it Cebu. That's the only thing at the moment that they can do. Second, to sustain themselves, well, they really have to develop some skills. So I know some people who just started selling chocolate cakes and they're doing very well, things like that. Some are selling empanadas, some are doing this, that. Unfortunately, here in Alabang, all the wives, I think, are all selling, but they're all selling among themselves.
That's a good one.
They're the
So
biggest.
you're the biggest customer. Okay, we run out of time. We'll be back with Bobby Joseph after this final break. Please don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Huwag mo siyang pakasalan!
Bagal kasi. Parang internet mo? Get the Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans. Up to 200 Mbps for fiber fast days.
Ako single.
Switch to Sky Fiber.
Freeman, bye!
First song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
The theory of decreasing responsibility explains how your life insurance needs change over time. In the early years, you may need a lot of life insurance coverage, but in the later years, you may not. In the early years, when you're younger, you don't have a lot of money, but in the later years, you'd better have money. How does this fit with your insurance needs? Today, when you're young, loss of income due to a premature death would be devastating. Your children are young and you might have high debt and a house mortgage. Your need for insurance is highest at this time. When you get older, retirement income is needed. Your children are grown, your debts are lower, and your mortgage is paid. If you have savings, you are self-insured, diminishing your needs for insurance. That's the theory of decreasing responsibility. By having life insurance when your financial responsibilities are the greatest, you can have peace of mind knowing your family's future is protected.
Thank you for staying with us. We're now on our final segment of the show with Bobby Joseph. Bob, what do you want to talk about now?
Well, at the moment, would appeal to government, and even if a lot of rich people have been helping the poor, we need to get more assistance and help because a lot of people are not making money. We want to put also online marketing for the wine, and we are getting riders. We're buying a motorcycle, and the motorcycle that we're buying is nearly 200,000 pesos. So it's a very stable bikes, but we can put 2 cases of wines. And what was shocking, the first applicants were over 400. And we need, and if you look at the resume, all of them are super qualified
Yeah, I'm sure.
and managers.
Yeah,
But they need a job because they're going crazy. There's no job. There's no
that's
that
true.
issue. And that's why even in tourism, that they say that there's 5 million direct and indirect people working for tourism. I said the social security and the other support given by Dole is too insignificant because the prolonged and we might even reach December. Now, we cannot support, the government cannot support because they're borrowing money left and right, local and international. Over 3 trillion has been spent, and it will affect the entire country as the everyday this is prolonged. But the Secretary of Finance has to bite the bullet and allow people to do business and follow the distancing. The biggest problem is distancing. And they have to cover themselves, they have to wash their hands, so on and so forth. Distancing in order to prevent people from getting sick, and people have to work. So without that, really, we still expect a lot of problems because we have hundreds of thousands of OFWs back in our country, and they won't be received anywhere. This is very lamentable. That there should be a council to see what are the things that we can do.
That's really true, Bob. In fact, for instance, the tax was supposed to be on April 15. It was moved to May 15 and eventually even later. So, for instance, the yearly monies that we earn from our OFW, something like $100 million a year, has disappeared. So the only good thing is that the IT industry, a few have closed down, but a lot of them, because they are international, have stayed. And in fact, they are staying like in our hotel. They're staying in our hotel because they cannot allow their what you call employees to go home because most of the employees do not have computers in their homes or air conditioning, so they go into the lower what you call stage 2 hotels, and they stay there about 2 to 3 to a room, and so they can actually bring them through buses back to their what you call working station. So this is happening to us. The problem really, our big earners is not giving money to the government, and so the government is not also getting any more money from the business because the business are closed. So this is where President Duterte and even Harry Roque and all those in the IATF have to really look into. That's why I always look at the issue of fatalities. In the Philippines, we have a fatality for a 1,300 people who died from COVID. If you think about it, 1,300 for a population of 100 million people plus is very minuscule. Compare us to, let's say, America, which has 200,000 people already who died. So you just imagine how big that is compared to how small we are.
Correct. It really wisen up because, well, we hope that we allow even events to happen, meetings, because you cannot have a meeting of only 10.
That's true. Mm.
So what if you get the ballroom? Not put 10.
Yeah,
Probably ballroom can accommodate 100 that usually could handle 300. You bring 30%, 100. So there could be business for the hotel, for the restaurants. And we really have to constantly educate people to be very safe and to protect themselves. And anyway, anyone is. But the problem now is in the areas that the houses are all together, that their bedroom, sala, kitchen, dining are all one in 10 square meters with 6 or 7 people in the family. There's no social distancing there.
that's true. That's very true.
So
That's
what
why
do,
the government should now, in fact, in 2 years' time, there will be an election. The local government should now look for a what you call way to promote social distancing by not allowing homes that are nakadikit-dikit na lang. And one of the biggest what you call event that Cebu was expecting for next year was supposed to be the 500 what you call Christianization of the Philippines. It was supposed to be. We even invited Pope Francis. So from the way you mentioned that maybe by December we would have the COVID what you call vaccine. That will not what you call bring back the tourists right away. So
yeah,
so that it seems to be looking like that celebration will be a smaller one.
yes, yes. That's
So that is what I'm trying to say, Bob. This is the what you call the year 2020 for us in the Philippines, and that was supposed to be the biggest celebration of the supposed to be the century. The only positive note is that hopefully by next year also the third Mactan Bridge or the Cordoba Cebu Cordoba link will finally open, and that will mean that there will be lesser traffic when the time the new normal will resume.
great, great.
So we are actually what you call continuing with our suffering. The poor people gets poorer, the middle class becomes poor, the rich has also lost many of their businesses, and a lot of what you call famous people have already disappeared. What one of them is Danding Cuangco and Senator Revilla. They have all died, and Tony Cuenco here in Cebu also died.
Because of COVID, right? You got
Yes, like
wow.
Tony Cuenco, he only tested June 18. In less than a week, he was dead already.
On June 8th, they found out that he had COVID.
Yeah, and June 18, yeah. So we have to really, what you call, take care of ourselves because it's really a problem. For as long as COVID is there, the chances of our getting it is quite high. And even my own family don't want me to come to my TV, but my TV studios is what you call cleansed. So I'm really safe here.
That's good. And congratulations, more power for continuing your program.
Well, I never stopped, Bob. I would come here once or twice a week, and we really continued. I interviewed the governor, I interviewed the mayor, I interviewed even frontliners. Last week, I had two doctors that I really interviewed to really come up with the real solution to the COVID is really simply wear a mask, social distancing, washing of hands. As long as you can maintain this in your daily life, I think you will not be spreading the COVID. Unfortunately, we ran out of time. We will be asking you for your parting shot, Bob, after this final break. Please don't go away.
First song. Thank you.
Bilis maka-sound trip. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
For today's look,
Bilis makaganda. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
LU pare.
Bilis maka-vacay. Ganyan sa Sky Fiber Super Speed Plans.
Thank you for staying with us. Bob, can you have your parting shot?
Thank you. One of the most beautiful things ever happened to me and to a lot of my friends is staying home with your wife for over 100 days. and if we did not experience it, we would have not known. And our relations has become deeper, and we are much closer, and we care more for the community, and we are serving community. I pray to the Lord that all of us will do the same and discover God's love with your spouse and family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bobby Joseph, for being historic with me in this Zooming, interview. And yes, you are correct. After my kidney transplant, I was supposed to be for a 2-month isolation in my home, but I only stayed for about a month. But this COVID has brought me into my home for an entire 3 months. And that means really brought me home and really find ways to be alone in the house because my wife and my daughter have to be upstairs for they're also Zooming with their Sun Life of Canada, and they're really working at home. So that means I have to really, uh, stay home on my own and really do things alone. And you've heard it here in Straight from the Sky and with Bobit Avila. You've heard it here in my TV in Straight from the Sky on a first Zooming interview with Bobby Joseph. Thank you and good night.